Racism is a significant issue that many countries are still struggling to eliminate. It is a problem that has been around for centuries, yet it continues to persist in our modern world. Every year, the extent and intensity of racism across the globe fluctuate as various countries take steps to address this issue. We will look into which countries are considered the most racist in 2024. The annual Best Countries Report, a 78-country survey by the U.S. News and World Report and the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania, added questions about racial equality in 2020. This is relevant because racial inequality is a consequence of racism. So in today's video we will be showing you 10 most racist countries in the world 2024. This list of ours may seem bad to some people. There are names of some very bad countries in the list, so sit down and listen because the video is about to start. But before starting the video, I want to request you, we put our best efforts to create our every single video, so please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Let's start. Number 10, South Korea. South Korea is one of the most racist countries in the world. In 2024, South Korea was listed as the 10th worst country regarding racism and discrimination, according to a survey conducted by WAPO. This ranking reflects a growing trend in South Korea over the past decade, where racial intolerance persists despite their developing economy. The primary source of racism within South Korea is based on skin color and language differences. People from different ethnic backgrounds are often met with discrimination when looking for jobs or housing. Employers prefer to hire those from similar backgrounds, giving an unfair advantage to those who look more Korean. Language barriers also play a role in excluding people from other cultures, as most Koreans only speak Korean, making it difficult for others to participate in society without learning it first. Number 9, South Africa. South Africa, once known for its beautiful landscapes and wildlife, has been destigmatized as one of the most racist countries in the world. According to a recent survey conducted by the WAPO, South Africa ranks number 9th in racism out of all countries surveyed in 2024. This ranking reflects a steady rise from its previous order of 7th place in 2021. The survey found that there are still significant disparities between different ethnic groups, with black people facing higher levels of discrimination than white people across almost all areas of life. Reports indicate that while there have been some attempts to combat racism, many South Africans still feel excluded and marginalized due to their skin color or ethnicity. This finding is concerning given that South Africa is home to diverse cultures and religions but fails to protect them equally under the law. This lack of legal protection allows racism to flourish unchecked throughout society. Number 8, Palestine. The situation in Palestine is one of the world's most tragic and complex stories, and it has been so for many years. According to recent reports, Palestine is now one of the most racist countries in the world. In 2023, this issue has only worsened as human rights violations occur daily. For Palestinians living under Israeli occupation, their fundamental rights are constantly violated with no end in sight. They cannot travel freely or practice their culture without facing discrimination or violence from those who control them. The lack of civil liberties and access to resources has left many feeling marginalized and forgotten by their government and the international community. This oppressive environment makes it difficult for Palestinians to live their everyday lives and be treated with dignity by those around them. Number 7, Kuwait. Kuwait has been listed as one of the most racist countries in the world for 2023, according to a recent survey. The survey, WAPO, gathered responses from citizens across countries around the globe. Respondents were asked to rate their experiences with racism in each country on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest level of discrimination. The results revealed that Kuwait was amongst the top 10 most racist countries surveyed, scoring a shocking 8 out of 10. This means that many citizens in Kuwait face various forms of racial discrimination daily, including microaggressions and blatant disrespect. Such behaviors are wholly unacceptable and must be addressed by local authorities to ensure a safe and inclusive environment for all residents, regardless of race or ethnicity. Number 6, Philippines. The Philippines is one of the most racist countries in the world, according to a recent survey conducted by the WAPO. The country ranked amongst the top 20 worst countries for racism, joining other notorious nations such as China, India, and Brazil. Recent studies have shown that discrimination based on race and ethnicity continues to be an issue in many parts of Asia, increasing tensions between minority groups and local authorities. In particular, there are reports of harassment and violence against ethnic Chinese minorities in the Philippines, often targeted for their distinct cultural identity and wealth. Furthermore, it is estimated that more than 40% of Filipinos believe that migrants should not be allowed into their country due to racial prejudices. This situation has been further exacerbated by a lack of diversity initiatives from government officials, which has only served to alienate minority communities even further. Number 5. Egypt. Egypt is widely considered one of the most racist countries in the world. In 2023, this reputation is still very much warranted. Racism has been an issue in Egypt for centuries and remains pervasive in society and politics. Discrimination based on ethnicity, religion, gender, social class, and sexual orientation is rampant throughout Egypt. This problem has become increasingly exacerbated by a lack of education and resources to help combat discrimination. Some laws favor certain racial or religious groups over others, contributing significantly to the prevalence of racism in Egypt during this period. The Egyptian government has done very little to tackle this systemic racism over the years, despite numerous international calls for action, leaving many Egyptians feeling as though their voices are not being heard or taken seriously. Number 4. Libya. Libya is one of the most racist countries in the world. This North African nation has a long and troubled history with racism, stretching back to its days as an Italian colony. Libya's population comprises various ethnic groups subject to discrimination and prejudice. Even after independence in 1951, racism remains deeply entrenched within Libyan society. The legacy of colonization has devastated many Libyans, leading to racial segregation and marginalization based on skin, color, and ethnicity. Racism affects access to education, healthcare services, and other vital resources essential for a healthy society. Discrimination against darker-skinned Libyans has become commonplace in public and private institutions. They are often overlooked for jobs or denied fundamental rights due to their skin color alone. Number 3. Bahrain. Bahrain is one of the most racist countries in the world, and it's been that way for decades. In 2023, it still ranks high among countries with systemic racism and discrimination against certain groups. According to surveys from various international human rights organizations, Bahrain has made little progress in reducing racist attitudes since its independence in 1971. The government of Bahrain has long faced criticism for failing to address systematic racism and bigotry within its borders. Despite promises to improve race relations, minority groups such as Jews, Christians, Shiites, and other Middle Easterners have been subject to discrimination by both public institutions and private businesses. From denial of fundamental rights like access to education or even healthcare, forced displacement, persecution for religious beliefs, economic exclusion, and hate speech targeting minorities, all kinds of prejudice are rampant throughout Bahrain society today. Number 2. Lebanon. Lebanon has been deemed one of the most racist countries in the world for 2023 by a recent survey conducted by over 5,000 people from around the globe. The survey asked respondents to rate countries on their level of racism, with Lebanon scoring the highest out of all other nations included. In a country where sectarian divisions are rife and religious tensions are at an all-time high, it is not surprising that racism is so prominent. With the increasing division between Sunni and Shia Muslims, Maronite Christians, and Druze, as well as discrimination against Palestinians living in refugee camps, Lebanon is viewed by many as a nation that does not prioritize equal rights or promote diversity. Number 1. India. India is no stranger to racism and has been listed among the most racist countries worldwide for several years. In 2023, India was ranked as one of the most racially intolerant nations in a survey conducted by the World Values Survey, which measures public opinion on issues such as racial tolerance. The survey found that people in India are more likely to think it's acceptable to discriminate against members of other ethnic groups than those in other countries worldwide. Unfortunately, this trend looks set to continue into 2023 and beyond. According to recent reports from human rights organizations, discrimination based on race is still widespread in India, with many people facing daily prejudice and even violence due to their skin color or ethnic background. This problem has only been exacerbated by rising nationalism and xenophobia among some sections of Indian society. Many Indians now view foreigners with suspicion and hostility. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.